guys, what's up? Dark Visor here, another episode of Pixel Effect. You know, this one's gonna be kind of a, I'm not gonna say it, short video, but you know, just talking about Dead or Alive 6 a little bit, you know, the new Dead or Alive fighting game coming out. Again, for anybody new, and for people who are not new, already know, I'm a huge fan of Dead or Alive. It's like, if I made a top 10 list of video game series I really like, Dead or Alive would be in there, probably closer to the 5 range, if not maybe 6, you know, somewhere in there. I followed that game since it started. I love it. I remember the days back when it was in arcades, you know, just a great series. It's actually a fun game. And I know, sure, it's you know, it gets a reputation for its fan service, but that's what it was built on. And back in the 90s, you know, that was the thing about the 90s, is a lot of companies, they weren't afraid to make things that maybe would offend a certain group of people, you know, and I'm one that never wants to dive into that, into messes like that. Like if somebody's, you know, that's one thing I don't like nowadays so much. It's like everything offends somebody, and it's just, you know, I don't like talking about that kind of stuff too much, but it gets annoying after a while. You know, I think there was somebody on Twitter the other day who was complaining about Streets of Rage 4, the new Streets of Rage game coming out, and they were saying you know, the female model was, you know, they didn't like it, and if this is what they were going to do with her and stuff, then, you know, they weren't interested and they lost all hype. You know, if you were a true Streets of Rage fan and you followed the game since the 90s, you know she basically looks the same, you know, and so it tells everybody that you weren't really a fan and you're just trying to get in the soapbox and complain. You know, I hate people that do that kind of crap. You know, if you're a fan, you know where it's come from. Some things will change, yes, you know, she looks better, she looks older a little bit, you know, she's more muscular, but, you know, people who just come out of nowhere, like, well, if you have to make a point to say, well, I just lost all interest, you weren't really a fan to begin with, and you're doing nothing but getting little soapbox to stand on so you can tell your 400 Twitter followers that you were offended, and I'm sure somebody in the streets going to, you know, take the time out to say, man, I feel sorry for you, you know. But, you know, Dead or Alive was built on, you know, it's kind of a fan servicey game, you know, not now, if you want fan service, you gotta play the beach volleyball game, you know, but the fighting game itself, while it was in there, it wasn't so much to showcase, but it was just kind of there. Dead or Alive has a great story, you know, and I've been following it since the beginning, and it's neat to see how the story has evolved. Sure, it's gotten some plot points I wish they kind of tell us what they're trying to do with, you know, kind of like Alpha 152. From what I understand, they're trying to mass produce her as a weapon, you know, kind of like the Resident Evil Umbrella route. They're trying to mass produce her to sell to warring nations, you know, and they're testing her out, and the characters keep trying to stop them, but every time they try to stop them, it turns out their organization is actually using them as pretty much guinea pigs to improve her combat abilities. In each game, she gets stronger, you know. I still think Dead or Alive 4 was the worst when it came to a boss fight. Holy crap, was she so cheap in that game. Because her damage they didn't scale her damage very well. She would destroy you, literally, she could destroy you in less than 4 seconds if you did the wrong move, you know. But, anyway, Dead or Alive has always been a series like that. There's old game magazines that would say stuff like, which you couldn't do nowadays. Like, seriously, you couldn't say, like, I'll try to find a picture of it, whereas a magazine saying, get ready for the Babe Fest or something like that, you know, or bombacious gals or something, you know, along those lines, saying the girls were like, basically they look good, you know, but they can still kick your ass if they wanted to. And that's the thing about Dead or Alive girls, there's no one character that could not kick somebody's ass, and that's a good thing, you know. They're not dumb. All the characters are actually smart, so that's actually a good thing. But with Dead or Alive 6, the point of this video, you know, when it started out, they originally came out and said that they were going to cut back on some of the fan service elements and kind of tone it down, you know, because they didn't want to. It was mostly too because of the West, you know. They were like, we're going to tone it down some, and it's not going to be, you know, as fan servicey. And while there was a vocal minority that said they were okay with that, a good majority of fans were pretty upset with it, saying, you know, why do you gotta change, you know, to try to appease somebody, you know? If Soul Calibur can still keep characters like Ivy, who, good God almighty, if any character, you know, wants to be pointed out for being fan service, I'm pretty sure Ivy sits on the throne atop everybody else, you know. But this past week, my mind, like, I had come to terms with the series being toned down, you know, but any thought I had of the series being toned down has been destroyed this weekend. Yeah, they have done a full 180, you know. I was gonna say 360, but that means you're still going the same way. But yeah, they've done a full 180 on what they said. They've gone back to adding Fan-Serivce, you know, in the game. I don't know if it was already in there still, but it's back. You know, it's in there. They let you know it's in there. From footage I've seen at Tokyo Game Show and pictures, yeah, it's back. They literally show us that it's still in there. And probably the biggest example that showed me this was the collector's edition in Japan. Holy wow, you know, they went all out. You get wall tapestries, and you also get the classic mouse pads. As anybody knows, you know, the mouse pads, you know, you'll see a picture. It's hard to explain. I don't still understand how the mouse pads work. I've never had one. But yeah, you get the mouse pads, you get all this extra stuff, extra costumes. But yeah, Dead or Alive 6 has did it, like I said, 180, and it's back to its old self, you know. The story would be improved, but the game still looks amazing. Like, it looks beautiful, and I look forward to getting it. I've went ahead and pre-ordered the Japanese collector's edition because I know for a fact it's not coming to America. It's like, I think it's like 250, 260, somewhere around there. But you get the mouse pads, you get the wall tapestry, you get the game, some digital tracks, I believe. So it's actually a lot of stuff you get. You get, like I said, did I say 3 mouse pads? Well, you do get 3 mouse pads, so it should be interesting. We'll see how this goes. But like I said, I was surprised that they turned around from this. But, you know, it's another thing also to say that if that's their vision for their game, I mean, go full speed. You know, don't chicken out. You know, if you want to make something, make it. You know, don't sit there trying to appease the West. The game came from Japan. It's your guys' game. You know, kind of like Devil May Cry 5. You know, the new Dante thing I think was geared more towards the West, and God, the new theme is just horrible. It's bad. It's trashy screamo. And screamo, I know it has its fans, but God almighty, that was just trashy. I think the only screamo song I can actually muster through is Sworn Through Swords from Devil May Cry 4. That's actually a pretty good song if you could consider it screamo. The guy is screaming. I consider anything where somebody screams is screamo, sorta, and it has kind of a rock metal background. But still, that sounds good, you know. So plus I've heard like they're not going to use that song in the full game because they had some kind of issue with the lead singer. He did something to 17-year-old. I don't know. The word they used was like, I forget what they used for the word. Like, whenever somebody's involved 17, it's not anything good, I guess, when, like, you're older like that. So just stay away, you know. But yeah, Dead or Alive 6. Wow. Like I said, I'm surprised. You know, I'm not sure what caused this turnaround, but hey, they're going full speed ahead with it, unless the West gets a censored version, which I doubt. You know, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it comes out. I'm looking forward to it. You know. Yet again, I gotta say that the first half of 2019 is just gonna be back to back with games. Oh my God, Dead or Alive, Resident Evil, Ace Combat. You know, it's just gonna Kingdom Hearts. It's just gonna be a packed early 2019. God, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Team Ninja, whatever. Good job sticking to your guns, I guess. You know, I was taken aback that you actually turned around and did this. So that was interesting. But I just want to let you guys know that in case any of you actually do follow that game series. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Bye, guys.